The saxophones are blaring, and that can only mean one thing. It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the Rawdown, the number one source for all things WWE, right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I am your host, Young Anthony of the Classic Match Classroom and the Titantron Podcast. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, J-Bone from Coming Down the Aisle and the MVP Marco from the Chick Foley Show. Gentlemen, how are we doing on this fine evening?
Doing great.
I'm doing great, especially as you're reigning, defending Rawdown Champion.
We're gonna get into this. Before we do, I want to bring in our tavern folk coming in here. Tyson, it's Tuesday. You know what that means. Shout out to Tyson, by the way. Hope everything's going well with you. Acefield Retro, looking forward to the show. It's someone taking that Rawdown title from Boney. We'll get into that. Don't you worry. And we smell some controversy with this Rawdown title situation. I don't know. A lot of love for Acefield Retro in the chat. Sup, fellas? Fig Freak, thank you for joining. And Nick Arias of the Ring Fanatics podcast, thank you for joining as well. All right. We got to get into this. Let's do this the right way.
And now, the Rawdown presents the crowning ceremony for the Rawdown Championship.
The recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Boom, baby.
All right.
Boom. Boom.
Let's get the exact number. What was our final ratings for J-Bone?
All right, so let me pull it up right here. Sorry, I should have this pulled up already. Okay, so let's see. Anthony, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points.
6 points.
Okay. Marco, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points.
6
And
points.
myself, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points as well too. So that makes me the reigning.
No.
Hold on.
I'm the
hold
tag team
on.
champions.
I'm
the tag team
how it
champion.
works.
No.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
sir. You think you're
all
going to retain the Rawdown Predictions Championship?
Absolutely.
The most
Absolutely.
prestigious championship in all of wrestling.
Yes.
Off of a technicality, off of a tie.
Yes. I
What do you
did
think
it.
this is?
I did it. I want to thank my mom, my dad. I want to thank my brothers. I want to thank everybody.
Hold on. As your first Rawdown Predictions champion, I think that we have a fraudulent champion here. And
I think
there's
so,
no
too.
reason why you should
It
still
doesn't
be
work like
champion.
that. It doesn't work like that.
I got 6 predictions correct, and this is ridiculous.
It doesn't work like that.
Buddy
Buddy Rogers would come in and say, "Oh, I'm the champ."
I mean, if anyone is going to be the champ, if anyone's taking that title, it's me. I got 6 points plus, I was the advocate for Brock Lesnar winning that match from the beginning, from weeks before this pay-per-view even happened.
I'm the tag.
And
Go watch
also-
NXT. No one needs to hear from Marco right
Hold
now.
on. I also
I'm the
predicted
tag team champions.
him pinning Seth Rollins.
I'm the tag team champions.
I
No,
mean-
I'm the tag team champions.
I'm the tag team champions.
This
I'm
is
the
ridiculous. No. There is no way that J-Bone should be champion right now.
No.
There's no reason why Marco should be champion. I am the true Rawdown champion.
Well, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We ain't got nobody to say what otherwise.
There's
I'm
gotta
the
be-
champion.
There has got to be a better
I'm
way
the
to settle
champion.
this. Whoa.
Hey, listen. So, as the commissioner and president of Rawdown,
President Sneed Tunney, everyone.
Whoa,
it's me.
Wow.
And listen, so I only make appearances on an as-needed basis. Tonight, when going through show review with the executives and myself, we've determined that this is an as-needed scenario. Upon review of everything that's gone down, I do realize that there has been, you gentlemen make a compelling argument for everybody. So what we have determined is that at this point, the title will be stripped.
What?
The title will be stripped until we do the WrestleMania 38 prediction show. The title is going to be stripped. And like I said, fellas,
bullshit.
Gentlemen, listen, everybody has made a compelling argument. Everybody's made a compelling argument for why they should be the champ, which is why we're stripping the title from everybody. So we're going to do a WrestleMania 38 prediction show. Myself and my executives have determined that there will be tiebreakers put in place so that this does not happen again. That's just the way it's going to be, fellas. Listen, I do this on an as needed basis. I step in when I'm needed. I'll let you guys take the reins on this, but as the president, I had to step in on this. I have to make the decision. There's going to be tiebreakers put in place. There must be a winner.
Damn.
I'm the
President
tag team champion.
Tony, everyone.
I should be walking into WrestleMania with that title.
I should be walking into
WrestleMania.
I should be walking into NXT, stand and deliver with that title. Let alone WrestleMania.
I'm the only one that can stand and deliver. Okay.
No, I'm looking past NXT. That's small potatoes.
Clearly, you're not looking past NXT. You should be watching NXT tonight. Ridiculous this is. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the commissioner, the president of the Rawdown himself. President Sneed Tunney himself has announced that at WrestleMania 38, it is winner take all. There must be a winner. Boney Khan versus Young Anthony versus the MVP. The WrestleMania 38 prediction.
Do your screen grab, Tyson.
There must be a winner, and that winner will be me. Hey, look, everyone had a compelling case, but we needed to get to the bottom of this. And I guess Mr. Tunney came up with a good plan.
I will be the tag team champs once more.
I will be the tag team champions.
I will be the tag team.
I'm going to be the tag team.
I'm going to be the tag team. That's enough. That's enough. We've got some comments to read before we get into the rest of this episode because this can go on all night. But we need NWA's judge style decisions from the tavern patrons. Where are the scorecards for style? Hey, man, I
like that idea.
We're gonna have to come up with something here to really go all on.
Style and grace,
unification.
Nick Arias wants a unification match, and he's gonna get it at WrestleMania 38. It's gonna be the Rawdown explodes, brother. Can the outsiders compete? I don't know. No, they can't. This is a triple threat. There's no Daniel Bryan wasn't added to make it a fatal four-way. Okay, Daniel Bryan was added to make it a triple threat, and it's going to stay a triple threat. It's going to stay a triple threat. Sneed Pierce says the Finn Free. All hail Sneed Tunney, says Ace. Sneed Tunney has to be a T-shirt, doesn't it?
It does. He laid down the law, man.
If we can get Marco a T-shirt, we need to get Sneed Tunney a T-shirt.
Can we just appreciate how he did put the suit and tie? It probably took him longer to put the suit and tie than his actual appearance on the show.
Man, he committed. I
love it.
Title vacated.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like the crowd is appreciating this result. Of course, I don't. I think I should be the champion.
I'm the tag team champion.
If we're gonna blame anyone, it's J-Bone for the.
True. This is all J-Bone's fault.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
If it wasn't for J-Bone, I would be champion. Right
Actually, I blame the Miz. The Miz should have won that match. If the Miz would have won, everything would have been fine.
No. Were you the one that? Yeah, Seth Rollins should have won and pinned Brock Lesnar or whatever.
Yeah.
Your dumbass prediction. And apparently, we already have confirmation that Sneed Tunney will be a T-shirt. That is as quick as Hook getting his own merch right after. That's an AEW reference. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rawdown. It is time to get into today's episode. As we are on the road to WrestleMania, of course, as you just saw. And there's a lot to talk about as far as stuff that is going to lead us into the show of all shows, the granddaddy of them all. And before we get to what we viewed this weekend, the Saudi Arabia Elimination Chamber, we have some news outside the ropes.
Outside the Ropes.
Pretty quiet week. Pretty quiet week.
Pretty quiet week indeed. We're going to fill up the show with some other content. Of course, like we said, Elimination Chamber happened, and we've got a lot to say on that show. But we do have some news bits that we want to get to. AJ Styles has officially re-signed with the WWE on a pretty lucrative contract. We don't know the exact number, but it was confirmed today that AJ Styles is back and is here to stay. Quick question. What do you guys think about Styles staying? Did you have a doubt in your mind that he was going to leave? And do you think that this lucrative contract, quote unquote, is on par with the Kevin Owens contract that apparently he got? Let's start with J-Bone.
Well, that's a good point. I didn't really think about that, but very, very well could be. You know, this could be what they were kind of setting up for with these quote unquote budget cuts, you know, is giving some of their talent they want to keep, you know, a big deal. And then, you know, we don't know what's going to happen with anybody out on the outside, you know, if they're going to try to use that money towards getting, you know, some of those outside folks. But I think this is a good move for AJ. He's what, 43, 44? I mean, Conrad Thompson reminds us every show how old he is. My God, he's 43. He's 43 years old. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Hulk Hogan was 42 years old doing the same stuff. Terrible Conrad impression. But anyways, but you know, he is gonna be kind of, you know, winding down. I mean, I don't think he's up yet by any means. I would like to see another title run, especially now that he's re-signed. You know, I thought maybe like this would have been his last contract and he would think about retirement. You know, obviously he's got kids and, you know, family, but I think with his schedule, this they have now is probably pretty easy for him to work, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I love AJ Styles in WWE. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think he's had a really great run for someone who came from, you know, TNA, the Indies, ROH, and JPW. For someone like him that never really made a statement to go to the WWE, for him to go to the WWE and win all that he's won, you know, it's pretty impressive. I'm pretty sure that he's a Grand Slam champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
So for him to make that type of impact is really really cool. I love it. And apparently Acefield Retro confirms from Fightful that AJ Styles was given $3 million per year for 3 years.
Damn.
Which is a pretty penny. Marco, after hearing that number, what do you think of all this?
That's that Bret Hart money.
Yeah, that's that $3 million. If they offer me that, I'd probably stay as well. Yeah, but just to piggyback off of what J-Bone said, that definitely makes sense with all the budget cuts. You know, them clearing some, you know, salary cap for the, you know, their bigger stars. Right. And I mean, you definitely see. I mean, you see that in any type of like sport. I mean, the NBA does it. Many of the teams do it. NFL, MLB, they all, you know, clear the salary cap and, you know, try to keep those. And if you think about it, like with WWE, since they're, you know, obviously it's wrestling, but you know, I see WWE's more as entertainment, like they're a television show, so they really focus on those like main stars that you literally see the same people every week. And I know, like as a wrestling fan, you're like, oh my God, these guys are fighting again. This is the 7th week straight that they're doing it. But they're doing it as in like you're watching a sitcom or some type of like drama series where you're seeing the same recurring characters over and over again. So they're gonna definitely, you know, clear enough space so they can keep, you know, those big name stars. And if anyone out of WWE, if they were gonna leave, I'm probably the only one, but him going to AEW or just leaving did not cross my mind whatsoever. Like he just doesn't seem like he was just gonna, you know, I got to be with my friends over in AEW, essentially, like how everyone else does, essentially. But that just never, like, you know, I didn't even know. I knew his like contract was coming up, but it didn't even like, oh my God, he's gonna leave. He's gonna go to AEW. That did not. That one thing KO did. A lot of people thought KO was gonna leave and go to AEW and, you know, join up with the Bucks and Adam Cole and everything, but obviously he didn't. But I'm glad that he's staying, man. He still has a lot of gas in the tank.
Oh yeah,
AJ Styles,
yeah, absolutely. So. And it's interesting that you look at the last 3 guys that the WWE have signed to, pretty big contracts, or at least notable names for that matter. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and now AJ Styles. All three guys who made their name on the indies and smaller companies now coming into WWE. I think it's just pretty interesting that we see that these guys are now getting a lot of money to stick around because they're some of the most consistent workers that the WWE has. So you can't lose these guys, especially with, AEW and even Impact on the rise and a lot of other companies. You need to make sure that you keep all of your reliable workers. So I'm very happy that AJ is sticking around. I'm happy that both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are sticking around because they're great assets to the WWE. One thing I want to talk about before we move on is I saw Tyson brought up a comment. Edge versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania 38. That seems to be the match right now. But is there any other match for AJ Styles at WrestleMania that you could see happening, or does it have to be Edge?
Maybe a Seth Rollins, but other than that,
true.
Yeah, maybe a Seth Rollins.
Now's the time to strike on the Edge and AJ, because
it's got to be. If it's not now, then it'll never happen.
I mean, I know a lot of people, if you watched Raw last night and you seen Edge sitting out there cutting his promo, you thought at some point you're going to hear the AJ Styles theme music hit, but it didn't. So there's a lot of speculation that someone else might be stepping in that spot.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Adrenaline in my soul.
But speaking of like keeping the like stars and stuff like that, I'm not sure if like you guys are like keen on like Sasha Banks and her dealings with like the outside of WWE and all that stuff. Like obviously she's on The Mandalorian.
Right.
She's a recurring character on there. She had some like cryptic tweet, basically saying like thank you, Vince McMahon, and then she put a door, like the door emoji. So basically, a lot of people are thinking like she's gonna not obviously go to another company, but like make kind of like an exit into Hollywood.
Well, I've been saying it now for honestly a year. Like I thought after the main event last year that she's primed, ready to go. Like I think it's only a matter of time.
Yeah,
and she's such a great presence on TV, and a great actress, quite frankly, So
to be fair, I will say that Sasha does post that "Thank you, Vince McMahon" tweet
a lot. She does do that a lot. Yeah, she definitely does.
More than people do this.
But I was reading some some like news on like when she appears on SmackDown. I guess like she makes like she gets a huge ratings boost whenever she's on on Friday night. So like, but you got to think she's pulling that audience from The Mandalorian, from the Star Wars fans. Anyone that sees her on there, they kind of figure out who she was, where she came from. They're going to watch her on. So just to say, like, it makes sense sometimes when like a star leaves WWE then comes back, because it brings a different audience essentially. So they're doing it right. Obviously, we kind of get upset when like a Logan Paul or a Jake Paul show up.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
We will definitely get into Logan Paul.
Yeah,
he's gonna puke. He's gonna puke.
First one of the episode. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but man. I mean, it's the road to WrestleMania. The stars they bring in the stars, man. It's a big event. You have to do it.
Oh man. All right. Well, I actually had no idea about that, so thank you for bringing that to the table, Marco. Maybe we'll see Sasha Banks going Hollywood. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? All right. It is time for what is turning into a weekly segment here on the Rawdown, but it is time for what I will call the Stone Cold Meter.
And that's the bottom line.
It is time for the Stone Cold Meter. We are just a few weeks away until WrestleMania. After this Monday Night Raw, what is the percentage that we will see Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania? Marco, give me your number.
I think I said 55 last week. I think
something like that. Yeah,
I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it to like maybe 30.
30.
25.
Why do you say
that? It's kind of like, I don't know. The news is kind of. I mean, I've seen something that said he wasn't like he didn't commit to anything, and then there was some other stuff that I don't know. If he is going to appear, it's going to be an appearance and not an actual match. Who knows? And that's why I dropped it. I haven't heard any news since that last week when all that crazy Tuesday happened with all those news swirling. So,
J-Bone, what's your number?
I'm still at 60 right now. And that's like, I guess so. The question is like if he's going to make an appearance or if he's going to have a match.
Is he going to have a match?
Is he going to match? I'm gonna stay at 60. I'm gonna stay at 60.
All right.
If we don't hear anything by next week, I may drop it down a little bit. But I think it's still a little too early for WWE's sake, to bring in the Texas Rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake.
What?
That awful Stone Cold impression. I love doing it.
Goddamn kid. I think it's still a little too early. Kevin Owens is still throwing the bait out there, in his little promo. So we'll see.
Well, that's part of the reason why I'm upping it a little bit. I'm gonna pull President Sneed Tunney here and bring up my prediction a little bit per week, like he did with CM Punk. I'm gonna bring it up to 65 this week. I would have bumped it up to 70, but the fact that they're doing the Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens tag team stuff, and
that's
we'll
another
talk
thing
about that later on with Who Won the Week. But the fact that they're doing that, I don't see that as a replacement. I just see that as a plan B, just in case Austin doesn't commit.
Real quick, when did they say that match is going to be? March 7th? In 2 weeks?
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
So that would be March 7th.
And that is plenty of time to build up Austin and Owens, because think of it like, they have gone the route of really taking a short amount of time or no time to build up WrestleMania matches. So, if anything, this is just something for Owens to kill the time for both Owens and Rollins, whatever Rollins is doing at WrestleMania.
You really don't need like a whole lot of story with this. I mean, it's
the
story
is itself. Austin's in a ring again.
That's
WrestleMania.
That is a story.
What? But I only say 65 though, just to finish up my point, and that's because I feel like because they're having this, maybe it's a backup plan, but I think this is more of just a time filler. I feel like with them having this backup plan, it's not 100% certain that Austin is signed on for Mania. Yeah. That's the only reason why I'm still bumping it up a little bit this week, but 65 that we see Austin. What? We see Austin.
Austin 316 days coming up to, it falls on a Wednesday, but that doesn't mean
he's actually releasing his the Broken Skull log.
Oh, that's right.
March 16th. So yeah.
Hey, Wednesday, maybe
man,
goes over to Dynamite. Yeah, who knows?
I mean, it's a tag team storyline, like you said. It could be a backup plan.
Yeah,
could be. But I actually see them winning and heading into WrestleMania as tag team champions, facing I'm not sure who, but I can.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
That's a hot take if I've ever heard one.
I could see them winning. I could take the Alpha Academy. What are they doing with the titles? You're gonna have them walk into WrestleMania with tag team titles? No,
they will be walking into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal with tag team titles.
I mean, or title less, where Seth Rollins and KO will face probably RK Bro or something like that. Just have like a star-studded tag team match.
So you don't think that RK Bro is going to break up for Mania?
Is it like you said, they can come up with a storyline really quick, but I mean, I think they should have planted the seeds by now. They haven't really.
That's true. That's very true.
That. So I don't know. We'll see.
I don't see it now, honestly. So
yeah, I don't think they're breaking up. They're too good.
Yeah, I figured they would have at least dropped something by now.
But... They're a merch machine, though. They really are.
Yeah,
they are. They very much.
They have
are.
their own theme music now. The music is merged together.
Yeah. Oh my god!
honestly not even that bad. I kind of like it. But all right, that wraps up this segment of the Stone Cold Meter.
Well, you can damn well bet that Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to be there.
All right. So I think we got everything on the news. Was there anything else that we missed?
I think that's it. It was a light week.
Very short week.
I don't know if we do we want to do a Cody update or
we'll talk about that in the week because there's a few tidbits on that. But nevertheless, that wraps up this week's version of
Outside the Ropes.
Outside the Ropes. All right. Now it is time for our recap of the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
We had a lot of interesting stuff that happened this weekend, and it is our job to run down every match that we saw. So let's just start running through some stuff. What do we want to start with? Let's just jump right into it with the main event here.
All right.
Yeah, might as well. The WWE Championship changed hands. Brock Lesnar is your new WWE Champion after what is apparently now being called an actual concussion for Bobby Lashley. That they pulled an audible and Brock won the title. I mean, do you guys believe that?
No.
He it came out that he has a shoulder injury.
A shoulder injury. That's what.
Yeah,
it was.
and he's been out
something.
Yeah,
but
I
think he's had that injury for a while, and now he's just going to.
Yeah, I think they said since Royal Rumble,
and it's ridiculous to fly that man out there for the.
So you know what else is ridiculous? For them to fly out 2 tag teams to just do a pre-match assault, so that we don't even have a match.
Yeah,
thanks for coming to Saudi Arabia. Fucking,
I know exactly, exactly right. But
ridiculous.
If you go back and watch that match with him and Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble, you can. When he's giving them the suplexes, you could see he's like the way he's falling. He's trying not to fall on that shoulder, that injured shoulder. Like it looks kind of awkward.
Oh
He's taking his bump.
Before we get into the rest of the Elimination Chamber stuff, we do have a lot of comments that I want to get to because the chat is active on fire tonight. Acefield Retro got a lot of comments in from him. I want to read all of these. I believe he's talking about AJ Styles here when he says he can get more longevity out of himself working the safe WWE style. He's comfortable and deserves a life of luxury after beating the crap out of his body for years and years. Good for him. I agree. Edge also said he's looking for a phenomenal opponent. That is true. It seems that that's to be confirmed. He did drop the Cody hint too, but I think that was just WWE being cheeky because Miz did it as well. Miz referenced dashing during his promo. I did catch that. Yep. And Edge referenced the undesirable to undeniable promo, and it fell on deaf ears with the crowd. I didn't even catch that, so good ear there. Tyson loves the Stone Cold Meter. What? Coda Equestria actually says 90? That he's 90% certain that Austin will have a match at Mania. We'll get back to that next week. But we'll talk about that one. But yeah, Tyson also believes that teaming up with Rollins is just filler. Acefield Retro cap it off by saying, I think it might replicate the Taker versus Cena match from WrestleMania 34. Good call. Owens comes out, talks shit, and gets stunned. If we get Austin in his ring gear, that would pop me. And I'm sure many people feel the same. I don't know. I feel like we'll get a very short match, but I do think it will be a match. I don't know what, but it'll be
what type of match. Just to cap off Lashley. He guess he's going to be out for 4 months or so. Right. So definitely miss Mania. No Almighty.
And it's weird because I thought that we were going to get Lashley retaining at this pay-per-view. Maybe even Lashley versus Cody for the title. That's my original prediction, but looks like we're going a completely different route here.
The booking is just it's ridiculous. It really is. Because Lashley's been hurt for quite some time. Yeah. You know, and it's like, okay, why wouldn't you pull Lashley last minute out of Royal Rumble? You know, you did it an hour before day one with Roman. Yep. You know, excuse me. Pull Lashley, put in Rollins or whatever. You know, I guess Rollins already had a match. Somebody else. Mm-hmm. Okay. But then you take the title off of Brock just to put it back on him. Like,
they should. I mean, they should have. I mean, if anything, if they knew he was injured, they should have threw Kevin Owens in there and made it like, made it known like, hey, the title is vacant. Bobby Lashley is not able to defend it, but there will be there will be a champion.
Yeah.
And they have, I guess I put Kevin Owens in that pod as opposed to Bobby Lashley. But
yeah, I mean,
it's just stupid.
I agree with you, J-Bone. I don't understand why they would go the whole route of taking the title off of him, putting it back on him. Like, you could have had Brock as your champion since the beginning of the year now, and now you take the title off of him, you put it back on him.
You could have had him go into the Royal Rumble as the WWE champion, and kick ass, whatever, and be like, Roman, I'm coming for you. Done. You
already had 3 different champions this year. Big E for technically not a full day, but Big E, Brock, and now Bobby Lashley, and now Brock again. So that's 4 different title reigns that we've already gotten this year.
And also you could have had Brock go into the Elimination Chamber, done whatever, kick ass, whatever, and then he go into face Roman. You could have even had it add a little bit more heat to it, where you talk about Paul Heyman was the one that set up this match.
Yeah,
but he coaxed the powers that be that Brock has to defend his title inside of the Elimination Chamber. Then he just take the title off of him for what? Just for a moment? Mm-hmm. You could have still had the moment. Brock could have overcome the victory and it had been over. I don't have a problem with Brock being champion. It's not that. It's just the way they did it. It's just dumb.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten all these tag team reigns already. It's ridiculous. Tag team. We've gotten all these title reigns.
Right.
It's ridiculous. And who even knows if we're going to get another WWE title change? Because actually, my big I don't know if I've ever said this on the show, but I do have a pretty
hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
So we're getting into the whole idea of, now Brock's your champion, Roman's your champion, winner take all. I do think we're going to combine the championships. However, my hot take, they are going to keep the Universal Championship, and they're doing away with the World Heavyweight title. Did I ever say this on Rawdown?
Oh, no, I did a couple weeks back.
J-Bone did, yeah.
You did. I was trying to think all along how I came up with this prediction. I knew I did not come up with that.
Yeah,
I teach you things. It's fine.
For you, J-Bone.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Whenever I say it anywhere else. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, we did a recap on the Chick Foley show this past week. Definitely go listen to it. And I did mention it, like that they're gonna he's gonna have a title. He's gonna have a title. They're gonna unify it. And and they were like, "Oh, you don't think when they have respective champions on like SmackDown and Raw, you think USA Network and Fox is going to be pissed off?" I'm like, "No, you can have. Why would not have Roman Reigns be on both shows, or Brock Lesnar be on both shows, depending on
whoever your champion is? Yeah,
exactly. they can float. They did it back in the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
whoever the champion was on SmackDown and Raw.
They don't do many house shows anymore. I mean,
you don't need a the champion now is supposed to be like this attraction. So you don't need to see the champion every single week. You just need to see the champion when there's a premium live event happening or like a special or something like that. So it's supposed to be an attraction. It's the same thing as like in boxing or like the UFC. Like you don't see those champions all the time. You see them when it's time to fight.
Yeah,
when they're building up their fight. So kind of makes sense if they do either unify them or because they did say it's going to be winner takes all. They didn't say that it was going to be that till after. So
yeah, I originally thought it was just going to be like a Survivor Series, like champion versus champion. I was nervous, but then now they're billing it as winner take all, which is good.
Yeah.
One thing too to also think about this with these crazy title reigns. So we've had 4 this year, right? Big E, Brock, Bobby, and then Brock again, right?
Yep.
Since the inception of AEW, we've had 4 world champ title reigns.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Hey man, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
It's a tale of 2 stories right there. Two companies.
Let's talk about this match right here. Quick, to the point. Brock we're talking about Brock so much. Goldberg versus Roman Reigns. I hated this match. I thought it was not even fucking like this was such a bad showcase for Goldberg. Roman did what he could. He sold for Goldberg. It's great, but this was not a good showcase for Goldberg whatsoever. And if this doesn't just stop the Goldberg title shit, I don't know what will. Marco, what did you think of this match?
Oh man, you gonna throw this at me? This match, jeez,
go right ahead and take it.
Yeah, I mean it was what it was. I wasn't expecting anything, too crazy. I don't think they built it as like 2 years in the making. It's like, I mean, I don't think two years difference really matters between. I mean, you get a 2-year younger Goldberg essentially against Roman Reigns, who was eating dog food and stuff at the time. So
God.
I mean, so it wouldn't have been that great anyway. But I mean, the one thing I did notice was Roman was not letting Goldberg hoist him up for the jackhammer.
Oh yeah,
a la like Undertaker.
Right.
When he almost broke Undertaker's neck.
On him.
Yeah, so he was like, yeah, well, he's like, when you put me in the jackhammer, we're gonna reverse this a couple of times before anything.
Pull the creative control on him. You're not pulling me up for that.
Yeah, I know. You ain't doing that. You ain't dropping.
Not gonna work for me, brother.
Yeah, but like I said, it was what it was. It wasn't. I mean, Goldberg's not like how he used to be when he was younger. I mean, I get it's still Goldberg. He's still in better shape than pretty much all of us in attendance right now.
You're right about that.
But I mean, it's Goldberg, man. You can't expect a 5-star match. But like you said, Roman did what he could. I mean, I did pop for the 2 spears that Goldberg gave him. Like it kind of made it look like something was going to happen. They were going to swerve a little bit, but obviously a third one. I was waiting for a third one. I was like, if he hits a third, that's it. I was like, Roman's. Yeah, he's done. I think they're ending his streak. But nope. I mean, Roman comes out on top, chokes Goldberg to death, and that was pretty much the end of the match.
That was a good finish. I'm glad that he just fucking
choked him out.
Just put him out. Put him out of his misery.
You're going to sleep.
Boney, I'll come to you on this one. So Goldberg, apparently this was his last match under contract. Do you think he'll resign? And if he does, who is he fighting at Mania?
Oh, Belly.
Bailey.
No, Billy. That's
Billy.
Belly. Sorry, my Louisiana's getting in the way of talking. Man. I hope not.
Doesn't matter, does it?
It really doesn't, but
I think Big E, maybe.
I have a sneaking suspicion. I don't want to get anyone mad. This might be a joke and it might be real.
Wait, should I throw up a?
You can throw a hot take.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
One more time, just one more match before he actually Roman put him out to pasture already, but one more match. Edge comes out next week. Ask for someone from the locker room to make an appearance and challenge him at Mania, and you hear dun, 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 dun. Goldberg.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing Edge and Goldberg.
He's gotta puke! He's gotta puke!
I actually wouldn't mind that.
Honestly. You guys sicken me. You
I can see it happening.
Fickle. You are fickle.
I wouldn't mind that actually.
More spears? Are you crazy? Spear match again?
Are you kidding me? Yeah, we did spear versus spear. You want another spear versus spear? I'll start doing the fucking spear on the bullshit. You want to see Edge versus? Oh my god, I'm gonna get.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, to be honest with you.
I'm glad you would. I'm gonna be in Dallas for that shit. All right.
Hey, you bought the ticket, pal.
Yeah.
It's gonna put a lot of butts in seats. Acefield Retro has a lot of comments that I want to get to as well. Thank you. Shout out to Acefield for all of these.
Acefield's the man.
For your
He's
amazing
the fucking man.
Debate. Great episode over there. Please check it out if you haven't already. I appreciate them trying to protect Bobby in theory, but it kind of makes him look weaker than not clearing him in the first place. He would have he would have more of a claim if he never was in the match to begin with. There was huge consequences for going all in on Brock and Roman for this long. This program has been sacrificing the rest of the roster, and they will need to rehab the whole roster when Brock isn't here. I agree. At this point, you can't have two main event scenes. You need to combine that shit and have the title floating across two brands while you build up your fucking main event stars and make people even a tier under Brock and Roman would be nice. We have no one right now. Eventually, nostalgia-driven acts won't be able to go on anymore, and you will need a new star to rival Roman 100%. They have to prioritize making a new star ASAP. Preach. The card is Roman, Brock, and 4 layers of shit. 100%. More comments from Macefield Retro. He's on fire tonight. Goldberg has never tapped or passed out, and Roman and Bobby did it to him in two of the last 3 matches. Goldberg has been ... a team player.
Yeah, has been.
Respect for it on my end. You know, you got a point. I got to agree. I got to agree with you there. By the way, he did pass out to Scott Steiner in WCW. I mean, if we're talking WWE, but
that's
WWE wrestling knowledge is coming in.
That's because you got the freaks, the peaks for the freaks out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my Steiner math is kicking in the back of my head. I don't do no Steiner math anymore, but don't you worry. Never forget that. We forget chemistry. We forget
no, you never forget chemistry.
Trigonometry, but you never forget the Steiner math.
Steiner math.
All right. Let's play a quick round of who gives a shit about these matches. I'm going to throw up a match. Give me your rating for it, and then we move on to one more match. Ready? Here we go. Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. J-Bone, rating.
Didn't watch it.
Marco, rating.
Rating what? 1 to 10?
Whatever. Pick your choice.
We'll go 1 to 5. I'll give it a 2. If we're going
cool.
1 to 5.
Becky and Lita. Marco, you love Becky. What's your rating?
You know what? I'm gonna give this match a 3.5. We'll go.
Cool.
That's generous for you.
Yeah.
J-Bone, rating.
1.5.
I thought it was actually a decent match.
I didn't love it. It was okay.
Garbage.
Well, Lita anyway. Lita was good.
Yeah. Well, Lita was good. She carried the match.
Yeah.
This pile of garbage. Naomi, Ronda versus Charlotte and Sonya. J-Bone, rated a 1.
Hey,
move on.
Shout out to Ronda and the Gee. I'll give it 2 stars.
Cool. I love that.
Yeah.
J-Bone, rating.
2 stars.
Oof. Marco, rating.
1.5.
All right. And that concludes your quick round of who gives a fuck about these. All right. And now it is time for I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like this was the best match on the card.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell
okay.
Elimination. I'm glad you guys agreed. I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber side, on the women's side.
Great.
What really sold it for me was 2 things. 1, Rhea Ripley was going off.
Yeah.
I really hope she has a big match at Mania.
Yeah.
But 2, I was pleasantly surprised by Bianca and Alexa being the final 2. I thought they did great together. And I never really loved Alexa Bliss in the ring. I never thought that she was great. I thought she was worse than Becky Lynch. Sorry, Marco, but
wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Hot take. Jeez.
Is that a hot take?
That is a hot take.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
She's way more athletic than
I think she's
I mean, even this past Saturday, like you could tell like Bianca was carrying her. Like I didn't.
Well,
I mean,
Bianca is. I've said this plenty of times. Bianca is probably top 25 wrestler in the world right now. Yeah, men and women.
Yeah,
you know,
like
all around
category. Yeah,
you know,
maybe a little higher than top 25.
I would say that too. Yeah, you know, if I go back and check out our video we did months back with the draft, she was my first woman I picked, you know. It was like the third person I picked, you know.
True.
I mean, Bianca, she could talk, she could walk, you know, she could do it in the ring. She's got a great character.
Yep.
You know, everything about it, you know, but you know, to your point, I'm sorry, yes. Bianca could carry anybody. She carried fucking Dewdrop. Like
that was
literally.
Yeah, that was
which is very impressive. Also, that spoiler for actually no, not spoiler. I'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, so yeah, but sorry, I don't love Alexa Bliss in the ring. I mean,
that's fine.
I mean, it's
that's your opinion.
I mean, it's your opinion, man. I mean, I've said worse.
True. It could be worse. It could be Becky. Look, so now we have Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. Do you feel like this was the move? I feel like a lot of people are rather seeing Rhea Ripley in the spot. I'll start it off. I love Bianca Belair here, and I'm happy that all the people who were complaining about the 26 seconds, oh, it buried Bianca. It took her title reign, and it just meant nothing. Well, I hope this is a prime example for you to let the story play out and shut up. Because if
I'm not going to shut up because it still sucked ass.
I didn't. Yeah. Okay, this is even perfect. I knew that we were coming here because it writes itself.
My God.
You cannot have someone like Bianca go all the way to WrestleMania as champion. You need a little bit of story.
That's not what we were saying.
This is exactly what happened with Daniel Bryan, and people hated it for the same reason. Oh, he had the title, then he lost it at SummerSlam, and then it was all these random storylines. No, it wasn't random storylines. It's him getting pushed all the way back of the line so that he could build himself back up to WrestleMania. He did the stuff with the Wyatt family. He did the stuff with the Authority. He did the stuff with the Big Show and CM Punk and all these guys so that he could get to WrestleMania and that they could tell a proper story in a shorter amount of time. You can't do an 8-month story with this. You need to shorten it a little bit.
You done?
No, I'm not done. That's what happened here with Bianca. You can't tell a story from SummerSlam to WrestleMania consistently. They put Bianca at the back of the line so that she could wipe through the entire Raw division, and that's exactly what she did. She looked great doing it. She beat everyone. I don't care if you guys think I'm wrong. I'm right on this one. And WrestleMania, she's going to win the title, and it's going to be the proper title reign for her. She's going to beat this quote-unquote 3-year reign for Becky Lynch, and it's perfect storytelling. Go ahead. Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong.
God damn, I didn't know this was the fucking Anthony show. Good.
You know what? Maybe it is. Maybe I should be the fucking Rawdown tag team. I should be the tag team champion, right?
Okay, so first of all, I never had an issue with taking the title off of her at that point.
Yep.
I had an issue with the way they did it. Yeah, okay, she ran through people, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? But the 26-second bullshit, you do that, and you could have done that on Raw. You know, why would you do that on your second biggest pay-per-view of the year? That's another issue I had with it. You take your Raw Women's Champion and you make her lose in 26 seconds in front of one of the biggest stadiums right now in America, right? In a Gillette Stadium, whatever you say it, in Vegas. You take it at SummerSlam, your second biggest pay-per-view of the year, and you have the woman that went through WrestleMania in a great show. Why couldn't we just do a match? Why couldn't we have a match? Like you could have still told the story without doing the 26 seconds. You could have had Becky cheated her out of the victory, and guess what? It would make Becky a fucking heel because she's not a fucking heel right now.
Well, and let me piggyback off of that, and that's why it didn't work. Is because the whole plan was for her to be a heel, and that whole you can't defend the heel run she's had right now. It's awful.
Obviously,
it's bad. So the whole point of her taking the belt in 26 seconds was to turn her into this like monster heel. Hey, I came in, I stopped your rising star or whatever. I took the belt off of her, and then they went on this heel run, which didn't work. I think that's what everyone's sentiment is. It just, she could fight her way back to the main event spot, but the way it happened was it was bad. And I don't think they had a plan personally. When she beat her in 26 seconds, I don't think there was a plan afterwards.
So
I think the plan was just to get Becky Lynch in that spot because Sasha Banks wasn't there. And we get her back in, get the title off of her. Now she has a title. She's walking around,
and that's another point. Like we didn't even see Sasha Banks and Bianca like we wanted to.
Yeah,
we just got thrown Becky Lynch, who we haven't seen on WWE television in 18 months or whatever it had been. It was absolutely horrific.
But hear me out. Okay,
I know you talk about the promo and they reference it. Ooh, big whoop! They could reference any fucking promo they want to tell the story. Like you could have gone back to the Raw match. You could have gone back to the Raw match.
We talked about this a few weeks ago when the WWE does something or books something that a character is a heel and it just doesn't work because the fans cheer for that person.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Kevin Owens, that he's been booked as a heel and the fans just love Kevin Owens so much. That was exactly what happened at SummerSlam. I don't know what you guys think, but the fact that a fan favorite in Bianca Belair lost her title in 26 seconds to Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch was very over the top celebrating about it. That to me is a heel move. You guys think that it's a face because the fans cheered for her because they had no fucking idea what was going on.
I'm not saying it's a face. I'm saying it's a weak heel move.
I will tell you this. The fact that it happened in 26 seconds is the reason why we're getting it at WrestleMania. You don't do the full match at SummerSlam and blow your load in SummerSlam so that you don't do anything at WrestleMania.
We could have still had the match.
In story, she wasn't ready for Becky Lynch. And if anything, that builds up Becky Lynch to be this great women's wrestler. It actually, kind of in story makes her this dominant champion. The fact that Bianca wasn't ready for someone like Becky, it puts her over big. So she loses to her in 26 seconds. She now goes through the entire Raw women's division. Now she leads up to Becky Lynch, where we have a full month and a half to build to this match, make Bianca look strong, and she's going to take the title off of her at WrestleMania. I don't.
So what happens? What happens if they add opponents to Becky?
What happens if they add
people to the ring?
Yeah, what if they add Rhea?
They will not add anyone to that match.
I think
it could be a possibility. What are you going to do with Rhea?
It might be like a random occasion. Okay, maybe they'll add Rhea because of the fan outcry.
There you go.
But
it's a
beyond. Okay, but that's a hypothetical. That I don't see them doing. But
I think
Bianca still wins. If it's Bianca and Becky, which is the right way to go, I will call it good storytelling. But if they add in Rhea, that's when I get a little iffy because then they're just playing to the crowd because the crowd wants her.
Okay, but you could have still done that way different than making Bianca. It's not a matter of fact making Bianca look weak per se. At the time, I did say that, but it's more about just terrible booking. It's just why. I mean, you could have Sasha beat Bianca there. Sasha dropped the title to Becky. Have her come back. You could have done that many different ways. And instead of they just did it in 26 seconds. It's arguably the worst moment, and I've already said this in 2021.
The other thing too is obviously there's no kayfabe anymore, so where Becky Lynch was prior to her coming back. So we're supposed to believe that someone that hasn't wrestled that whole year come back and beat someone that carried Otis on their back, on their shoulders.
Hey man,
well, because she wasn't ready for the superior.
She wasn't ready.
She's the man
for the superior Becky Lynch.
My feelings towards Becky Lynch, so I mean,
the one move.
I can't even take your opinion into this shit.
The fucking armbar, who's she? Chris Jericho with the 1,004 moves.
Good Lord, we could go on forever.
Armbar.
I don't even remember
Becky.
We will get back to this one closer to WrestleMania when I will be correct and I will show you how this was proper storytelling. WWE has been on fire with long-term booking.
Oh my God.
This is another example of that. I was saying this before this shit happened. Randy versus Riddle.
I quit.
What else? Edge versus Rollins. Rock versus Roman. Bianca versus Becky. But we're not ready to have the conversation. It's
gonna be a mid-card match on night one. Mark my words.
Yeah. All right, and that's fine.
Or no, actually, I'll give it night
Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels was a mid-card match on WrestleMania, and it was still the greatest match of all time.
Whoa.
All right. We're not on the.
It's good. Greatest.
Hey, hold on. All right, we won't. That's an off topic. Acefield Retro. We're gonna get into some comments because we just went on a whole little rant there. Huge problem has been WWE has PTSD from the Daniel Bryan movement in 2014. Now it is the only playbook they have to create an underdog babyface. That is a great point. The only reason why it worked was not because of booking, but fans rebelled. Sure. Yeah. All right. Fair.
Yeah.
But you can make the argument that their booking saved the story.
No, I absolutely not.
I mean, they were going in the wrong route. You're going to tell me that even with the whole yes movement, all of that pushed aside, all of like the outside stuff.
I got a hot take for you right here. Go ahead.
Let me get the thing.
Oh, I love hot
takes here. Get your hot takes here.
My opinion, yes movement, overrated.
You're
Boom.
Awful.
And I was there for WrestleMania 30.
I was there too. I was there for WrestleMania 30.
I was in my friend's house watching WrestleMania 30, and you are very wrong.
Overrated.
That's a debate topic just waiting to happen.
I think that
after this one. Courtney, of course, just.
Oh God!
If the Turnbuckle Tavern clan were the Avengers, young Anthony is Iron Man. Can't thank you enough for that.
Would you be Spider-Man because he's young, the youngest out of?
No, I think I'll be Iron Man. No problem. Acefield Retro says this would be great storytelling if they planned this, but clearly that was not the plan.
Thank you.
I said that. I don't think there was a plan for
throughout the year.
I don't think she was buried throughout the year. I just don't think they had a plan.
I was gonna say so. Buried throughout the year is.
I don't think she was
losing. Sure, you can make the argument for a controversial match.
Yep.
Losing in a triple threat match, and then going on to wipe the floor with the Raw Women's Division.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't agree with the. I don't agree with the.
They saved it. I think they definitely saved it.
Yeah.
Sure, one match at SummerSlam. You're gonna tell me that it's been bad booking since then? That's just
bad booking. Bad booking.
That's ridiculous. I cannot believe you stand by that. And I don't even want to talk about your yes movement opinion. You're a clown. You're a fraudulent champion, and I want nothing to do with you. Acefield Retro says Bianca's light years behind where she was at the. Ooh, wait a second. I actually have to throw on the hot take for.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Acefield Retro coming in with some hot takes. Bianca is light years behind where she was at the point last year, and that's.
I don't know about light years, but she's definitely behind. You know,
she's definitely behind where she was last year heading into Mania. Yeah, she had way more momentum.
I mean, sure, but like, I wouldn't say light years. Like,
I wouldn't say that either.
Wiping away what she has done in the last few months.
Yeah.
I mean, she just won the Elimination Chamber. She's the first person.
Anthony, what the fuck did she do? Beat Dewdrop a bunch of times? Like, what the fuck? Like, you're acting like she's like fucking Goldberg on a street
whole division. Sure, there's not a lot of people, but they put her at the back of the line, and she beat everyone.
Yeah, she beat Nikki Ash.
Oh man, sorry. The talent pool. Oh my god,
she beat Nikki Ash.
She's killing it.
Zelina, Carmella.
Oh my god, thank God.
Rhea Ripley. Who else? Alexa Bliss. Now, everyone. All that's left is to win the title. She's the first person to win the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber, or not. She's the first woman and one of 8 to win the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and a WrestleMania main event.
That's some funky WWE stats you got there.
That's a legit stat. She is in company with like John Cena.
She's the first one of was born in 1990.
To only do that, and she is the first woman. That's pretty legit. I don't know.
All right.
The Code Equestria says the internet doesn't play the game at all at times. Yeah, true. Tyson says, "Why are you talking?" I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, you did actually say that. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Acefield Retro says the only person in worse shape from 1 year to the next is Drew. They wasted a huge rub from Brock on Drew, and Bianca's moment came last year. I agree with Drew to a point.
Yeah.
No, I agree with Drew to the full.
Drew, they screwed Drew over big time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he did. I mean, this year he was injured, so he was out for a little bit. So that kind of derailed him.
You got to see where he goes after this Corbin stuff because he's going to fight Corbin at Mania.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's.
But I'll wait until SummerSlam because I feel like they'll build him up for a SummerSlam match.
Yeah,
but we'll get there. And final comment from Acefield says, "Think of it this way: Austin wins the title at WrestleMania 14, then loses the title in seconds to someone else, stunts the organic growth of a character."
Thank you.
But what if Austin, after that loss, ran through the entire roster and won the title again?
Which he pretty much did all the time.
What ran through Big Boss Man, Ken Shamrock, fucking.
I mean, Ken Shamrock's a jet.
Kama Mustafa, fucking Farouk. Like what? Okay, like
yeah,
green jacket, gold jacket. Who gives a shit?
Look at Mick Foley. Mick Foley won the title 1 week and lost it the next, and he was fine. Crowd was still behind him. He didn't get like put in the middle of the pack or anything like that. So, I mean,
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
We've talked enough. This all developed from just talking about the Elimination Chamber match. Guys, what did you think of the match?
Yeah, there was a match.
There was a match. Yeah, the women's match was definitely the match of the night for me. Anyway.
Absolutely,
lots of fast, like it was fast paced, lots of high spots. I mean.
We lost our host.
Yeah.
I think it was great. You have exactly your point too. I think the women's match was by far the match of the night.
Definitely better than the men's match.
Yeah,
men's match picked up.
Oh God, men's match was horrible.
Yeah, I mean the men's match only really picked up when Brock kicked in the plexiglass and then started just demolishing everyone in the ring.
I feel like we've seen that before though. Goldberg never did that.
He kicked it in, so he kicked someone else's pot in.
Right.
On one of the actually no, he was never in one.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was with
he was in one of the first ones.
He speared Jericho through one of the pods.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought they said that was the first time Brock Lesnar was in an Elimination Chamber.
No, that was Goldberg.
Goldberg, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Goldberg spared Jericho, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was the first for Brock, though.
Yeah. I think it was Goldberg that kicked the pot in. That's what it was. And then
SummerSlam 2003.
Yeah, I think it gave you like flashbacks of that. But yeah, I mean, Austin Theory getting tossed off the top was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He almost
Speaking
died.
of which, Brock also becomes one of 8 people to join Bianca with winning a Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania main event. It's a pretty big stat. Not gonna lie.
Numbers don't lie.
Did Brock lose in 26 seconds? Did he lose his title in 26 seconds?
No, but he won in how many seconds did he beat Kofi?
8 seconds when he beat Kofi.
He won in 8 seconds.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
No retribution for that either for Kofi. So,
all right, final rating for Elimination Chamber: 1 out of 5 stars. Marco, what would you give it?
I'm gonna go. We'll go 3.
3.
Leave it a 3. Yeah.
Solid 3. J-Bone.
I'm gonna go with 2.5.
I'm gonna join you. 2.5 on that one.
I was being generous.
Yeah. No, a 3. A 3 is solid too. What is that? A 6 out of 10? Yeah. I give it a 5 just because you had some good matches, but like overall, it was kind of like you knew it was gonna be disappointing. It would just just a little bit exceeded the expectations.
Yeah, I was hoping we would see. Whoa, we're only smoking mirrors. Whoa.
well, we're about to talk about that as Acefield Retro. I will never not have the WWE stan
You're a shill for WWE.
I'm a shill. I'm a shill. That's all I will ever be, is a shill for the World Wrestling Entertainment Federation Company. All right.
You fuck the Fed.
All right, folks. It is time for the segment that nobody came here to hear.
Who won the week?
Nobody came here to hear. Who won the week? We're going to talk about some stuff that we heard throughout the week. I'm going to be honest with you. This is another week that I only watched Raw. No, wait. I did watch SmackDown this week. It was just forgettable. You have a new Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn.
Yep.
What do you guys think of Sami winning that title again? Do you think that it's going to be Sami versus Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania? And why will it be the worst celebrity match of all time?
First of all, I don't think it will be that bad.
I don't think it will be.
No, he threw some good strikes, I will say.
And I'm here for Johnny Knoxville way over than that fucking douche troll Logan Paul.
We're gonna give you what you want.
We're gonna give you what you want. Listen.
That's what Northeast talking over there.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah. Let me talk about this here real quick. Logan Paul is it's embarrassing, honestly, that WWE has him around. Like this, I'm serious. This dude's a piece of shit. He should be nowhere near WWE. I'll give you one piece of evidence. Last year we were watching WrestleMania. Me and my wife, we were watching WrestleMania. She does not watch wrestling. She kind of looked up and she goes, Logan Paul is in WWE. That's disappointing. That's all you need to know. As a casual viewer, somebody that doesn't even barely watch it, was that's disappointing. She was upset, And that and honestly, it kind of hit me why the fuck is he in there? He's a piece of shit. I don't mind celebrities. In fact, I think it's great. That's what WrestleMania was built upon. And people say, oh, it steals a spot from somebody. No, it doesn't.
No.
Do you think Sami Zayn would have a match?
No, probably not.
He probably wouldn't. Now he has a match. So there you go. Sami Zayn has a spot.
So
and you get more eyes to the product.
So on the topic of Logan Paul, since we're here, with me being the younger fan, and I'm more accustomed to the
YouTubers,
the YouTube shit. I will give Logan Paul the benefit of the doubt because I know that you said he was shit, and I think he was. I think he's gotten a lot better, and he's really cleaned up his image a lot. That sure he does the boxing stuff, and it's annoying, but he's not as naive and stupid as he was. Plus, he's a former isn't he a former collegiate wrestler? I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that he was I think a legit wrestler.
Yeah, I think both Paul brothers are obviously star athletes in their own right. If you want to,
true.
If you want to say jocks, essentially.
You know what Logan Paul reminds me of? He reminds me of that guy when you get in a fight and he goes, "You don't know who my stepdad is."
Yeah.
That's who Logan Paul is to me.
You know who my dad is?
Do you know who my stepdad is?
He's gonna sue you. He's gonna sue your ass, pal.
I mean, like you said, it opens a spot for someone. It gets people talking. Logan Paul's one of the more talked about celebrities. So
yeah, I brought that up on the recap show we did, and Sheena was not having it. She was none too pleased. I was like, hey, this was obviously before Raw. I was like, hey, the rumors are one of the Paul brothers joined the
I heard her reaction.
She was not. She was none too pleased.
Right.
I heard her reaction. She was not happy.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm only reporting. I'm only reporting what I read. That's it. I'm not wishing it to an existence, but I mean, it happened. So
I wish I could say it could be worse, but even with me defending Logan Paul, I'm not.
You know what the thing is too? I think Bad Bunny kind of, he put that like he set the bar, dude, for a celebrity like for in-ring competition. And I think anyone that comes after that, if they don't perform as good or better than him, it's going to be like a wash. Essentially, it's going to be like, I mean, but he obviously took the different route. He actually moved to Florida, lived there for 6 months, trained in and out with everybody and stuff like that. So he actually took it seriously. Right. And I think a lot of people, you know, obviously don't think that like Logan's gonna take it as seriously as like Bad Bunny did. No, as a wrestling fan, that kind of pisses people off because you're like, you know, if you're gonna step in the ring, at least learn the basics, right? I mean,
Ray should drop his son and pick up Bad Bunny for that tag team match.
Oh man, that'd be so good.
That'd be amazing.
That would be great, actually. They should actually be both dropped. It should be Bad Bunny.
Yeah, we should just drop this whole match altogether.
Yeah, bring Damian Priest and Bad Bunny back against.
Yeah, make it a 3-way tag.
Yeah, let's do it.
Might as well. All right. So I mean, one last thing. Well, actually, let me get into because I love to play this. This is my favorite audio. Oh my gosh. Any chance I can play that? I'm going to pick Doudrop and Bianca Bel-Air. They just have solid matches. Apparently, backstage loved this match. They were really, really positive for it. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter today, but Nia Jax was trending because it was just because people were saying that Doudrop is everything that the WWE wished Nia Jax would be.
Oh my God. Solid performer, in ring.
Good reason.
She's not like most girls.
God. Thank God I never hear that again.
Oh my
God. J-Bone, what was your match of the week?
I'm gonna go with Dana Brooke versus let's see. I'm gonna go. This is easy route. I'm gonna go RK Bro versus KO and Seth Rollins.
Fair. That's fair.
All right,
good pick, Marco.
I'm gonna hop over to SmackDown, even though I think Raw won the week. I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura for the. It was actually really good. I enjoy both. I'm a fan of Shinsuke Nakamura, even though he's been poorly mistreated in his time in the WWE. But I do love Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn's like the best thing going on SmackDown. He's just entertaining as hell. They just let him do his thing, and he's all eccentric, and he reminds me of like Robin Williams almost, just like a Robin Williams character, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I kind of you know what, put the hot take button in. I have a hot take about
hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Now, we've seen the strength of Bianca Belair. We watched this last night.
Okay.
Hoisting Doudrop over her shoulders. That crowd was going insane.
Yep.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna make a lot of people mad probably with this. I'm gonna say that's equal, if not better, than Hogan slamming Andre.
Oh.
How about that?
Yeah. I'm right there with you, brother. Like, I mean, like that's way more impressive. And anytime we could cut down Hogan, I'm here for it.
I mean, well, not even that. Like, if you go back, you know, Andre jumped, helped him, lift him up, and all that stuff. But I mean, Bianca had to hoist this woman on her shoulders, walk into the middle of the ring, and then do her finishing move. Which she had to lift her again and slam her. No, I mean.
All right, you're making a case. You're making a case.
That should be the clip that they play.
That's great. That's great.
Mania. I love it. And it's not a Mania match, but they should replace that.
And in the opener, like, you know.
Yeah. Have Gorilla Monsoon and have the same audio.
The irresistible force meets an immovable object.
And just have Bianca slam Doudrop. I mean, I don't think people would be mad at her. Nowadays, anyway. Back in like the 80s and 90s, I'd probably get crucified for saying that. But nowadays, not so much. So,
like Seth says, Hogan's a racist piece of shit. He deserves.
Who are you to compare, as Hogan says, him slamming the near 500-pound, Hogan tore his back up when he slammed him, and someone died after he slammed him. You know,
I mean, Andre was slammed well before that.
Judge all of these Hogan conspiracies.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Andre was already slammed well before Hogan.
Yeah, Hogan slammed him at Shea Stadium.
Yeah, he slammed him double times, and then someone else slammed Andre before Hogan slammed him. I forget who it was. I have to go back, but I mean, it was just on a bigger stage. That's why people.
Yeah, you think Andre just like learned how to take a body slam like that?
Yeah,
like,
come on. He jumped. Go back and watch it.
You're bleeding.
It pops me every time.
Every time. All right, last topic before we close out today's episode. So Edge cuts his promo, talks about open challenge at WrestleMania, and as Acefield Retro mentioned, he name drops the undesirable to undeniable promo. So with that being said, what are the odds that we see Cody Rhodes coming to the WWE? What are our odds? We did it for Austin. We might as well do it for Stardust. What's your percentage that we'll see him that we'll see him in the WWE? What do you guys think? J-Bone.
25%.
Oof. Has that dropped or is it increased?
Yeah, it dropped.
Really? Give us some reasoning.
Well, for one thing, Kenny this past weekend, Kenny Omega said, "Oh yeah, he's in Saudi. You know, he's doing those things. Kenny's playing it up. You know, he's like, yeah, you know, I don't know exactly what the quote was, but offhand, but he's like, yeah, you know, he's in Saudi. You know, he's going to go ahead and sign with WWE."
Sorry, just a quick, I want to shout out new viewer, Castellar Garcia. Thank you for coming in. Edge versus AJ Styles must happen. Always want to shout out a new viewer whenever we get
absolutely.
A chance. Please stick around. We've got some great content for you. And when this episode drops, listen to the whole thing again. Subscribe to the tavern if you haven't already.
Subscribe to the tavern. Let's see. Let me look for my. I feel like an old man. Like,
what is this phone device doing to me?
I got to get my readers on here. Let's see. I'm trying to find the quote here real quick. Okay. This is a quote. I heard he's, meaning Cody Rhodes, on a flight to Saudi Arabia. If that makes him happy, that makes him happy. Again, the Bucks and I weren't in this for a war. All the guys and gals in WWE doing their thing, always wishing the best for those guys. Couple of those little things, trigger me a little bit. Okay, so obviously he wasn't in Saudi, right? For one thing, and you know when Kenny says the Bucks and I aren't in it for a war. However, you have the owner of your company taking shots at WWE constantly. It's like, hold up. You know, it makes me really think that it's less of a chance that he's going to show up. I mean, not that he had to show up in Saudi. I'm not saying that, but yeah, the fact that Kenny's like, well, yeah, he's on a flight to Saudi. Hey, farewell, pal. You know, it kind of brought me in. Guess what it did. It made me excited for the pay-per-view, and nothing happened. So,
I mean, I wasn't taking. I read that quote as well, but I wasn't taking what Kenny. He's been out of the. I mean, I don't want to say he's been out of the game, but I think he was just being, facetious in a sense where, everyone thinks he was signing with WWE. He's going, but that other quote though, where the story that's floating around is like Cody was kind of in it to prove a point to beat WWE essentially. That was one of like the behind the scenes stories. Like he wasn't really in it to create a new company, blah blah blah. He wanted to like prove to the McMahons that there's more than one royal family in wrestling. That's why Kenny Omega said, me and the Bucks, we weren't in it to, we weren't in it for a war. We were just in it because we wanted to like create a different, basically like different atmosphere for wrestling. Cody, on the other hand, he wanted to go against WWE. So it seems like they're like, I'm just saying this. All these stories about everyone hating Cody, it's all like connecting. Like a lot of like behind the scenes stuff in AEW of like he wasn't well liked. Brandy wasn't well received. Blah blah blah. But then there's people that say Brandy was well received, but she was only, she was a little assertive, and a lot of people didn't like that, essentially. But obviously, she was an executive, so she had to, put her foot down. But the thing with Cody was, it seems like the recurring theme from what I'm reading is he was always like kind of in it for himself, essentially, and wanted more, more control than obviously Tony Khan. But TK's he's the bank. He's not going to give Cody that. But again, who knows what's going to happen? But
so, what's your percentage, Marco?
My percentage is, an Edge Cody match. I mean,
no, just that just Cody shows up.
I'll just show. I'm gonna go. I'll go 35%.
Ooh.
I'll go 35.
Man, I hate to break from the norm, but I'm 75% that we.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. I don't think it's a work. I think it's happening. I mean, like, again, for those of you who are listening, J-Bone keeps putting his headphones over his eyes so that he can't see my amazing calls. But something is telling me that all of this is just intertwining to the point where it just seems like it has to happen. It's either I don't think he's going back to AEW at this stage right now.
No.
It's either he goes to WWE or he starts up his own company, because that seems to be the trend right now. Shout out to EC3. CYN. That'll be great.
Rolls off the tongue so well.
Yeah. Or he might do something with ROH. Who knows? But I don't think he goes back to AEW. And with all of that being said, the likelihood is that he'll show up in WWE. All these reports from credible sources like Fightful that, he's Vince is very high on him, and all these reports of the Young Bucks talking and this Kenny Omega interview, everything is just intertwining to the point where I can't call it a work anymore. I thought it was at the beginning because it just clicked immediately. I was like, oh, this is fucking fake. But now it seems too much is going on for it not to be legit.
So who does Cody face at Mania?
Edge.
No, not Edge.
No Edge.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
You don't think it's like a scenario where Edge is no one answered his call yet? He's in the ring waiting with his gear on, and then you hear adrenaline, and the fucking crowd goes nuts, just like huge ass pop.
That would be legit.
That would be pretty cool. Cody,
it has to be a big
Rollins.
If they're not gonna win the tag titles,
right?
KO is gonna face Austin. It has to be.
That's
the only reason that you can say he did not win the Elimination Chamber in that title is they have him. They're planning to have him go against someone else.
True. That's actually a really good reason to pat myself.
He was a heavy favorite. He's a heavy favorite of that Elimination Chamber to win.
Marco just came up with that, not you.
Who's favoriting him? Let me see those Vegas bets. No, I mean, I think, to what we were talking about before when I said that this is kind of like a placeholder right now, Owens and Rollins for the tag titles. Fuck. Owens will go and face Austin, and Rollins will go and face Cody Rhodes. I like it.
It's possible.
I mean, it's just the thing is like he's just said so much. Well, and I know it's like a work or whatever, and he was working, doing a promo, but like just recently he was just talking about, you could go over there and the hip toss school and change your name to Walter McGillibuddy, like, come on, like,
stuff like that makes it hard. But
I don't think it's all about money. I don't think it's money with Cody.
I'm telling you, I said
it'd be creative.
It's power, cash or creative, man. Yeah. And then Tony Khan busted open recently. He kind of confirmed it. He was just like, I wish we could have worked something out, but didn't happen that way.
Of course, he confirmed it. He's in on the work.
No, I don't think he's in. But then he did the. So here's why I don't think it's a work. Then he did the jealous like boyfriend / girlfriend move, where they go like this. Well, I wish we could have worked it out, but things didn't happen. But anyway, I got something big plan. Something big plan coming up, something really big that's gonna be good for wrestling. I mean, it's happening. Don't worry. He did that, so that tells me like I lost Cody, but something big's happening. I guess something bad,
Bro, Tony Khan always does that for like anytime he answers like a big question. He's always like, "Oh, what's going on? Is CM Punk coming to AEW?" Yeah, I don't know. We got to see, but no, this Dynamite. We have a great show coming up. Daniel Garcia is going to face Brian Danielson. Like he always.
He gave the jealous X answer, man. He gave the jealous X answer. That's why I think it's not a work. Something big's coming up. I get something big for professional wrestling. We don't have to talk about Cody anymore. That's old news.
That's old news. That's old news.
That's old news. I don't even care what he's doing. I don't care what he looks like now.
That's hysterical. Oh man. All right. Last question before we wrap things up.
Who won the week?
The red lightsaber or the blue lightsaber? J-Bone, are you on the Jedi or the Sith?
Man, I tell you what. So they had some great stuff on the networks this week. No, I'm gonna go Raw.
Raw. Marco.
Yeah, it's Raw. Consecutive weeks for Raw, man.
Yeah,
and I think SmackDown they didn't benefit from how live show, and then also on top of that, it was like go home. Now we're like we had Edge, we had people to pop the rating, so to speak.
Logan Paul too. So
Paul.
Hey, in our pre-show text, I said I refuse to have Logan Paul in a graphic because I do not want to be considered a hypocrite.
Oh, dude! But if he sneaks him in, he just showed that one to like make you feel better. And then
I'll quit.
Tomorrow,
I'll quit. Good. You're a fraudulent champion. We don't need you. I am also gonna go with Raw. It's been the better show for like the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And I would not have ever thought that I would be saying that a few months ago, but here we are. And I don't know if that'll ever change for a while.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, leading up to Mania, it might change a little bit.
It's kind of interesting. Like at the draft, that's whenever things switching up because. If you remember when we did our recap shows, the Raw recap and the SmackDown recap, SmackDown was on fire pretty much every week.
Yep.
And Raw sucked ass. I know that because I watched it every fucking week. I wanted to blow my damn brains out. And it was horrible. And now it's like at least bearable to watch,
Yeah.
It's got to be something with that, which it'd be interesting to kind of pinpoint that because. Like, what's the talent that caused the shift? Because it's not Roman. We know that for sure.
Mm.
Yep.
Very, very true.
So,
a lot of good points on today's episode. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
hey yo,
it's time to end the show.
Actually, the best. Go to that quote from Acefield at 10:21. Bianca is also 5-10. In 2022.
Actually, yes, there are a lot of comments that I did not go through. Before we end the show, let me go through this. Tyson says, rather have Johnny Knoxville than Logan Paul.
True.
Sure. According to Cage Match, which is the #1 reliable source for all things wrestling, Bianca has been booked historically like a 500 character. 168 to be okay since 2019. Is that including the house shows and the live events?
Probably.
And NXT? Because there's a way to filter it to take that out. So go with TV and live. TV and And come back to me if you're gonna be the stats man of the field.
Go to his other comment. His
other comment. Compare Bianca to that.
No, not that one.
Which one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Bianca is also 5-10 in 2022 on TV. Not that much momentum behind our girl. I love her, but facts are facts, as he says. I don't believe it. I still think that she has done a good job in building herself back up in 2022. Really, 10 matches that she lost on TV. I'm going to have to look back at that one.
She lost a couple to Dewdrop. She did lose a couple to Dewdrop.
She lost to Becky a couple of times.
True. I don't know.
Probably Carmella.
Yeah, maybe. Tyson said that there's a 60% chance for Austin and a 10% chance for Cody. We had a lot of great comments also from our new viewer. Garcia says, Chad Gable reminds me of a mix of Kurt Angle and Owen Hart.
Oh, yeah.
He also says that he hopes that Walter comes in and forms a heel stable with Finn Balor and Cesaro.
You mean Gunther?
Dynamic there.
Gunther.
Get it right. He also mentions MLW and AEW are having some great matches. He introduces the idea of Cody could use Omos as a bodyguard and help Omos since Omos is a very limited wrestler. Sorry.
We kind of saw that with AJ.
Yeah. And his last WWE comment, Brock Lesnar has been very great on the mic recently. That's very true. I wanted to call that out. The opening segment on Raw was phenomenal this week.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
Between Paul and Brock. But a lot of great comments, guys. Thank you so much for being so active in the chat tonight. But with that being said,
hey, yo,
it's time to end the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into tonight's episode of the Raw Down. Before we close up shop, J-Bone, Marco, promote your shows. Let's start with J-Bone.
Coming down the aisle this week, we got Mr. We haven't recorded the interview, but we'll get recorded tomorrow night. We got Mr. Nick Arias of the Ring Fanatics. Your good buddy there. Yeah. Next week, I actually will be out. I haven't talked to you guys about this actually yet, but I'll be honeymooning. Yeah. So I won't be here next week, but I will still have a Coming Down the Aisle podcast. I've actually been recording a lot of material. So I'm basically been recording 2 episodes this week. So I'll actually have Tom on next week and the Ultimate Miles. We will do a list in the Coming Down the Aisle podcast. So check that out. Like I said, Nick from Ring Fanatics podcast will be on this week. I think we're going to watch Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. Surprisingly, I haven't done that match yet.
Really?
I know. As I was messaging him, I said, I think I did it. And I said, let me look back. And I was like, oh, I didn't do it yet.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what we'll be watching. So check it out.
Love it. Marco, Chick Foley Show, where are we finding you guys?
Yeah. New episode out right now. We do the Elimination Chamber recap, plus some figure news as well. And obviously, Chick Foley Show on Twitter, Chick Foley on IG. If you want to follow me, MVP Marco on IG and on Twitter as well. And we have some, I think we're going to have some Royal Rumble watch-alongs popping up. So we have a series. I'm not sure if everyone's not familiar. We started from the very beginning of the Royal Rumble. It's humble beginnings. And I believe we're up to Royal Rumble 96. That'll probably be the next one that will be, doing the watch along with it. They've been pretty fun. A lot of the old Royal Rumbles have been abysmal. They're not the most entertaining Royal Rumbles like they are now, but I mean they're fun for a watch along. So yeah, so look out for those, and obviously buy all the merch, Pod Foundation merch. Anywhere. Yes. Go to PWT's, Turnbuckle Tavern, Coming Down the Aisle, Extra Cooler, Chick Foley Show.
Come join the Facebook group.
Join the Facebook group as well. Yeah, definitely. They did during the halftime show. They did a Royal Rumble halftime.
I checked that out. That was cool. Yeah, that was dope.
So so there's a lot of fun things we do. Obviously, figure collecting. We buy figures from people if you need them. Parts of the country get better figures, and actually my side. I don't get anything.
I found 5 Sting figures in one day, and they all went out. They all went out retail plus shipping.
Yep, I was a recipient of one as well. So thank you, Jay.
Yeah, so we got the Fig God, Jordan Wells. He's the one that hooks it up over there. So.
Yeah, he's in Nebraska. Just
they
dump all the figures in Nebraska.
Right there, boom.
Like, literally, they don't go anywhere else in the country. But it's pretty much it.
Love it. We're doing a lot of work here at the Pod Foundation, so make sure that you're supporting all of us. And it's a great time. It's a great time. But, ladies and gentlemen, you hear that music. It's time to wrap up today's episode of the Rawdown. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed what you saw, make sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe to the Turnbuckle Tavern. Head on over to the description down below where you can find theturnbuckletavern.com. You can support the tavern in any way possible. That's including following us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. I said Instagram already. Anywhere that you can support the tavern, make sure that you support us, including going ahead and buying some of our Turnbuckle Tavern merch. You can go ahead and buy the ProWrestlingTees.com/tavern merch, where you can get the character-specific tees of Young Anthony, Hollywood Tony, MVP Marco, Boney Schiavone, Boney Khan, all of us here at the Rawdown, and many more other shirts. Plus, you can go over to Teespring, turnbuckletavern.com, where you can get some stickers and some official Rawdown logo on some merch. It's beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Make sure to check out all of the podcasts that the Turnbuckle Tavern are releasing. Monday is the debate. Tuesday is the Broken VCR and the fucking GCW show. Wednesday, of course, it's us, the Rawdown. We're releasing on Wednesday for the podcast edition. Thursday is the flagship show. Friday is the Turnbuckle Sessions, new and improved Turnbuckle Sessions.
Check that out.
Beautiful show with Mike and Tom. And Saturday is Fig Night. It will drop in the podcast form on Saturdays. So much great stuff is happening over here on the Turnbuckle Tavern. Make sure that you tuned in for all of it as we are on the road to Rawdown Mania. There's only 39 more days until we decide who is the official Rawdown Predictions champion. And spoiler, it's going to be me. It's going to be me. It should have been me, but it's going to be me.
What about me? What about J-Bone?
Folks, thank you so much for tuning into tonight's episode. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, but if you didn't, hope you tune in next week. Folks, I will see you next week, but until then, take care, spike your hair. Woo, woo, woo.
You know it.